Hello, and welcome to my podcast, Mondays with Maddie, where we start your week off with the newest updates and info from your most idolized athletes. I'm your host, Maddie, and on today's episode, we have the privilege of meeting one of the media's favorite star football players, Greg Jackson. When viewing today's episode, you'll be seeing what his daily life off the field looks like. That's going to include seeing some of his biggest supporters, getting the inside scoop on some hobbies and interests Jackson has, and last, but definitely not least, some goals and plans Jackson has for when his time on the field comes to an end. To kick the episode off, we have the privilege of touring the Jackson residence, where we'll be taking a look at the place Greg gets to call home after a long game. With that being said, we also get to meet some important people who make daily life possible and are Greg's #1 supporters. First, we have his mom, Amanda, who works as a teacher at Longfellow, teaching in the 4th grade department, and his dad, Brenton, who serves in the Army. His sisters, Gracelyn and Greenlee, who are 10 and 3, enrolled in Curran Middle School along with Longfellow Elementary. And lastly, we have 6-month-old Grantley. However, this family wouldn't be complete without their furry friend roaming the house, Millie. Now that we've had the pleasure of touring the Jackson residence, let's take a look at some of Greg's hobbies and interests off the field. When not running the ball into the end zone, you'll likely find him playing video games at home, such as Rainbow Six Siege or Minecraft. Another important step of Jackson's daily routine is spending time with future NFL wife Abby, who attends as a senior at Northwest High School. Jackson and Abby have been dating for just over a year now and couldn't be happier with the way things are going. It's safe to say she's earned the title of being Greg's #1 fan. On top of all that, there's always time left for the Jackson family to travel, with one of their most recent vacations being to Florida for Gracelyn's dance competition. If Greg could go anywhere, he would be found in the Caribbean with his family, enjoying his time on the island. Now that we've had the pleasure of touring some of his hobbies and interests, finally, here on Mondays with Maddie, we give our guest of the week a chance to share some goals and plans they may have for the future outside of all the team drafts or brand deals. For Greg, that looks like living in a big house on a cliffside with 3 to 4 kids, most definitely still living in Iowa. Greg wants a garage full of fast cars such as a Wrangler or a modified 1990 Miata to choose from for drives to work or going out to dinner with family. Finally, Greg's future days consist of a 12-hour shift at the ethanol plant, a facility that converts plant-based materials, like corn, into ethanol through a process called fermentation and distillation. With someone as hardworking, caring, and kind as Greg's peers and family members would describe him, I'm sure all these things are possible. Now that to bring this episode to an end, let's wrap up some of the key points that we covered on our star football player of the week. First, we have some great pre-game motives, such as his mom, dad, 2 sisters, and 1 brother. A great way to cool down after a long day of practice and games, such as playing video games or hanging out with future NFL wife Abby. And last, some goals and plans Jackson has for when his time on the field comes to an end. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe for more interviews on some of your favorite influencers and athletes such as this one. Thank you.